looking for style points. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are we all doing this morning?
Fantastic.
Does anyone love anyone this morning? Have we all fallen in love with someone this morning?
Yes.
Well, guess who I'm in love with? Me. And because I'm in love with me, I also love you. But in the midst of all the rigors of life, the responsibilities, the obligations, the personal desires, emotional fires, one thing stands out, looms larger than all existence in the psychological and sometimes the spiritual compartment of our hearts and our minds, and that's love. What does it mean to love? There's a spiritual aspect for God and mankind in general, the psychological aspect, where one is comforted in times of desire of distress, and then there's the physical, which is erotic arousement and emotional expression. That gives us long lessons we'll never forget. Physical love is strongly connected to Valentine's Day. Now, where billions of people throughout the centuries dedicate an entire day to grand gestures of love, where did Valentine's Day begin? Does anyone know? Can I get a hand of someone who knows where Valentine's Day began? Excuse me? Well, Valentine's Day began about in the 3rd century A.D. There was a defiant Roman priest, Catholic priest, named Valentine, obviously. He was not the only Valentine to exist, but he is the one that helped promote what we know today as Valentine's Day. Now, Valentine lived under an ambitious ruler named Claudius II, who sent out armies month after year at a time, so long that they abandoned their families. And so they were gone so long that what would happen is the soldiers would become half-hearted and homesick. So being ambitious like Claudius II was, he banned all relationships and all marriages for his soldiers. So as that went on, Valentine, the Roman priest, thought that that was an unjust decree to set out for his soldiers. So he was so determined to stop love from interfering that the Roman priest said, I'm going to go ahead and start marrying these couples anyway. Even though you don't want this to happen, I'm going to secretly do this. So we went on in time and kept secretly marrying these couples. Well, when Claudius found out, he had Valentine jailed, and then he was set for execution. So during the course of time, some of the families or the married couples that Valentine did marry, they came to visit him while he was in his cell. And they would bring him, guess what? Roses. Right. They would bring him roses, and they would pass him notes through his cell bars as gestures of their gratitude. It is also believed that Valentine fell in love with the jailer's daughter while he was in jail. So this guy was a romanticist. He was somewhat like myself. He fell in love with the jailer's daughter, and on the day of his execution, February 14th, they found a note in his cell. And the note said, "From your Valentine." Thus, a tradition was born. Henceforth, a tradition was born. Then, of course, connected to Valentine's Day, there's Cupid. Now, there are many, many stories. Most of these stories that that I researched were just they were legendary stories, and some were myths. Some couldn't be totally proven. But the one that I liked was this. Cupid was the winged matchmaker who started out as a god of love. He also inspired the image of Christians or cherubs for many Christians. Valentine's Day, removed from religion and pagan past, is one of the most celebrated holidays on the calendar. There are 180 million roses, 36 million boxes of chocolate, and not to mention all the cards and dinners and diamonds that are sold, which generate about $14 billion, all for Valentine's Day. So I asked the question, who do you love? No, who or what do you really love? I mean, have we fallen in love with the tradition of centuries past? The winged symbol of love called Cupid, who, by the way, had arrows. He had two sets of arrows. One arrow he would shoot, and it would promote love. Another arrow he would shoot, and it would promote hatred. So there was a man, at one point, the legend has it, that he shot with love. And he shot him with love to make him seek after, and excuse the term if it's offensive to anyone, a nymph. I forget her name. But he shot her with the arrow of hate. So while he was chasing her with love, she was running with hate. So don't hate the one you love, just love the one you hate. So this winged symbol of love called Cupid, he was so handsome that humans and gods fell at their knees before him. Have we fallen in love with the economic attachment, or if you will, the stimulus package called Valentine's Day? Have we forgotten to walk in the park or on the beach that promoted long-lasting connection between your husband, your wife, or your significant other? Maybe after years of dirty socks or leaving the toilet seat up, we might think twice. But again, I ask, who do you love? The day most celebrated, or the person the day was intended for? Thank you.